Hey everybody, welcome back to the Daily Bern. This is the war room of the political revolution. What this is a daily inspirational show for all of us who are out there fighting in this political revolution to transform our government into one for the people. Please like and share and comment. Any participation in the show helps us do better in the algorithm and get out to more viewers, and we have to be the media. So please do all you can to get this message out to everyone. Thanks for coming to the Daily Bern. I'm your host, Sean Yankee, and we're coming to you today from our new home. So join this page and follow it to be notified when we go live in the future. I hated to start over after building up an audience, but the team I was on turned out to not be what I thought it was. And I cannot tolerate weakness in my life, so I eliminated it. And that's about as far as I'm going to go into it for now. I just felt I owed the audience an explanation for why we moved. Today, I want to start with a quote that I found. And it goes, "A fight is not just won by one punch or kick. Either learn to endure or hire a bodyguard." Now, that quote was from Bruce Lee, who knew a little bit about fighting. Now, a lot of people think that that's enough. They throw one punch and they're like, I did fight. They cheated. I tried. I did it all, and I still failed. So I know it's impossible now. What you know is that it's impossible for you. And with that attitude, everything is. Life is hard. Life is unfair. If you want something, you've got to work. You've got to fight for it. Not fight until you get knocked down. Fight until you fucking win. These quitters that have it all figured out are liars. And the main person that they are lying to is themselves. You got to cut these losers off. They will drag you down with them because they want everyone weak and defeated like they are. Rise above that weakness. Were we cheated? Yes, we were. Is life fair? No, it isn't. But was it ever? This whole game is rigged against us. All of it. So, does that mean we just give up? Forget it, guys. It's too hard. They're too powerful. All of this sounds really nice, but we're weak and they are strong. They cheat and they have all the power. They have all the power that we give them. And this shit is our fault 100%. Own that. Understand it. Take it in fully. This mess is our fault. We fell asleep at the wheel and let greedy psychopaths run wild. We tolerated it. A little at a time, we let it slide, and now we find ourselves in quite a messed up situation. And it won't be easy to fix it. But it isn't impossible. Things are bad. Things are very bad. And left alone, they'll get much worse. We are heading for climate disaster and economic collapse. It is time to fight. Not throw one punch and quit like a spoiled child, but to get back up and keep going like a winner. To know in your heart and mind that this doesn't happen if you quit. So if you want it, get up and go get it. When life knocks you down, you dig deep inside and you find the strength and you get back up. You keep moving forward. You fight through the weakness, the doubt, and the pain, and you focus on your goal instead. And that is how you win. That is how winning is done. Winning is not done by sitting around and crying and whining and complaining. Oh, they cheated me. They rigged it. You sound ridiculous. You sound like a spoiled child. We have to own this. We have to do the work, and we didn't do enough. So I include a link in the description of every Daily Bern to berniesanders.com. Please go there and see if there's any way that you can help. We have to do all that we can. Maybe there's something you can do as far as volunteering goes. There are almost 3 million people volunteering to elect Bernie Sanders president. That is unprecedented. You can join us, and there's a lot of things that can be done. There are, things that take a lot of time, and there are things that you can do in your spare time. There's a ton of things that you can do. See if there's something that fits you, or donate any amount, even $1. No amount is too little. This is a completely publicly funded campaign, and it is disgustingly expensive to run for president in this country. So donate if you can. I ask that you get a bumper sticker while you're there. It's little things like that, like putting a bumper sticker on your car. Something simple like that, that builds a wave of momentum towards accomplishing our goals. Most of what I mean by do all that you can in this fight is to not give up. Lead by inspiration. Keep fighting and keep waking the others, and we can do this. You know, we need to, like I said, lead by inspiration instead of confrontation. I think we need to be more judo like in our approach. Use our opponent's weaknesses as our strengths and use their own momentum against them. And when they're like, if you're fighting a stronger opponent, you have to take that into account and you use their strength against them. So, yes, they are strong. They have all the money, all the resources, and the power of the media at their disposal. We're up against a lot. And that's true. But here's the thing, they have us convinced that we're weak, but we're not. When we stand united, we are invincible. When millions stand united, they win. And they always have. Women's rights, civil rights, labor laws, unions. I could go on and on. All these things that we take for granted today didn't used to exist. Now, did they come to be out of the goodness of the hearts of the powerful? Did they just look down on us and they go, oh, you know what? I think they deserve only a 40-hour work week instead of working them to death for pennies. I think they deserve a living wage, or a minimum wage. I think they deserve to be able to have unions. I think women should get the right to vote. Do you think that the powerful did those things out of the goodness of their heart? No. The people stood up united and made their voices heard. Bottom line is they do what we allow them to do. They get away with what we permit. We're only weak if we buy into the propaganda, lies, and division tactics that they use against us. Now, since these quitters want to focus on it so much, let's look at 2016 real quick. Now, admittedly, Bernie won 23 states. And we know it was more than that, but they admit to 23, so let's go with that just for a second. Now, Bernie won those 23 states, starting off 60 points behind Hillary as a virtually unknown senator from Vermont. And we did that. We did a lot. The media was trying to rig it in front of us and right in our face. Well, they did rig it. But right in our face, they were rigging the polls and doing all they could. And they are again, and they will. And the establishment was closing polling stations, making people wait in line 2-3 hours to vote, doing everything that they could to rig it up. And we won 23 states. Kicking and screaming, we took 23 states as an unknown senator. But what happened was, in the end, we did a lot, but we didn't do enough. What happened in 2016 was not Bernie's fault. It was ours. And what happened after it is our fault too. We tolerated a rigged election. I'm going to let that sit for a second, because I don't think people understand it. You want to say I didn't tolerate it. I did this, I did that. I fought back. I was loud. Me too. And that's awesome. And all that is really great. But we means all of us, society as a whole. And we let them rig an election in this country. And we did nothing about it. Now, these negative quitters want to blame it all on Bernie. They want to go on and on about what Bernie did and what he didn't do. Meanwhile, all they did was cry. Now, Bernie has been fighting this fight for 40 plus years. Maybe, just maybe, there were some factors that you didn't understand, and just maybe Bernie can't fucking save us. That man has never once said that he would save us. Not once. What does he stress then? Well, about 6 times a stump speech, and every damn time people chant his name, he reminds us that it's not about him, it's us. We do this. Bernie doesn't do any of this on his own. Those sad sacks waiting on a hero are going to be waiting for quite a while because there is no hero coming, nor could there be. This is our job. As much as you may wish it wasn't, it just simply is. So your options are to pout or fight. And I'm going to be with those that are fighting. And you pouters can have at it. I'm done with your weakness. I want my circle strong. I want to run with winners. I'm going with those who are willing to put in the work, even when it's hard, even when they get knocked down. I'm running with a crew that gets back up when they fall. I'm running with winners. And we're coming for this. We're not coming to negotiate. We're not looking for a middle ground. We are going to stand united by the millions and make a stand. Or I will die on that fucking spot. I will know at the end of this fight that I did all I could. Everything. I will not leave a single card on the table. We have been given a second chance here. Now, I was reminded by these quitters that I didn't go to Philadelphia. All right. I didn't make it. And I'm not alone. There was a lot of us that really would have liked to have gone. I wanted to go. I watched all the live feeds I could. I was there. I experienced the whole thing on Facebook. I couldn't come up with the money to go. I'm already saving to go. Do you understand? We have to. We have to. Every caucus needs to look like a Bernie rally. We have to overwhelm them with our numbers. That is the only way that this happens. Bernie is just our candidate. He is just one man. All of you people with these unrealistic expectations of that man are the same people that turn around and accuse me of hero worship. I have a fantastic candidate. I can support him. He has a message that I believe in and a track record that I can back up. I have a great candidate. He is just one man, a regular man with a regular family and regular problems and a regular life, and he is just one person. You are the ones that have a savior complex because you thought he was going to come and save the fucking day. Even though he never told you that. You believed it. And now you're hurt. And you're a big baby. And you sit and cry. And you whine. And you want to talk about how, well, I'll watch all you idiots. I'll watch all of you idiots out there fighting. It's entertaining to me. You're a joke. You're pathetic. And you will never accomplish anything in your life with that attitude. This is our fight. You cannot pretend that you care while mocking people that are trying to make a difference. You're a fool. And I'm done with it. And that's how we got to be. We need to wake more people. We need to grow our movement. But fortunately, we don't need everybody. 60% of people cannot even be bothered to vote. Why don't we focus on them? There is a huge well to pull from. Leave these quitters behind. These doubters, these crybabies that only want to go on and on about what Bernie didn't do for you. At the same time, telling you that you're unrealistic. You think Bernie's going to... No, I don't think Bernie's going to save me. I never said Bernie was going to save me. I have always said, for 94 fucking episodes so far, that this is our fight. Ours. We do this. You can only spend so much time debating with stupid people, because a stupid person will drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. You can't reason with them. And these pout babies have themselves so convinced, and they built themselves a tight little echo chamber that reinforces their belief that Bernie was supposed to save us and he failed. Well, leave him be. Leave him be. Let him run wild with that madness. I'm done with it. I'm really done with it. I used to try to do something about it, but they're a lost cause. They are worse than the brainwashed, than the fools. They're worse. They're a bigger fool. You're living a bigger lie while you sit around and mock these people that believe in Russiagate, watch the mainstream media and think it's news, believe that Joe Biden is double digits ahead of Bernie Sanders when there's nothing in reality that points to that. You mock these people and you sit around living a lie. You're a liar. You lie to people. And I'm done with you. Damn it. I wrote this out. I wrote the monologue out today because I'm still mad, right? I didn't know. I had no idea. I was in shock. You know, what led to me leaving that page was a conversation that started off very innocent. And through that conversation, it was made clear to me that we were not on the same page, that we were not on the same team. And it was also made clear to me that I was looked down upon as naive. Now, that page had an established viewership. They had, a good amount of members, and it did pretty well over there. And I imagine that this show is going to struggle for a little while. This page just started. I did not intend to move the show here. I started this page to share revolution stuff, like, which this fits in perfect. This will be a great addition to the page, but it's a brand new page. There's only 20 something members. I only invited people that I knew were really politically active. So if you're a member of this page, uh, let's grow it. Let's grow this page and get it out there because now I'm starting over. You know, I I really didn't want to, but I had to grab it and just pull it off like a band-aid. I can't. I just can't. You know, just for myself, for my own mental health. I took this on, right? I took this show on. No one asked me to do it. I just decided to start doing it. That was about 3 months ago. And I'm hoping that you guys find inspiration in this show. That is the point of it. I wanted it to be a motivational, inspirational type of place for us to come and gather and inspire each other and draw strength. There was plenty of people out there, telling you how hard it was. There needed to be someone out there reminding you that, yeah, it's hard, but you're on the right path. You're doing the right thing. This is the way change happens, and we can win. There needed to be somebody doing that. And a lot of times you have to be the change that you want to see, and that's what I did when I started this show. Um, I don't remember where I was going with that because I'm off script now. Like I said, I wrote the first part out, but I'm running on so much emotion right now because I was really in shock. This conversation shocked me. I'm still in shock. I realized already. I'm not naive, I'm pretty with it. I realized that they didn't support the show, you know. I realized that. And but it was okay. Like it was a politics page. We don't have to have the same politics. So we were just joking around, and I don't know how to put it into words yet. But it was basically made clear that it is believed that I am naive and a fool, and I worship a hero, and I didn't do enough in 2016, etc., etc., etc. Well, a lot of us didn't. I didn't do enough in 2016. I own that 100%. I'm going to this time. I'm getting a second chance here. We all are. So let's fucking win. You know, I try not to cuss on these. I've cussed. I know I've dropped at least 5 F-bombs on this monologue so far, and I'm sorry. I apologize for that. I try to keep these clean. This is my contribution to the revolution. So I try to keep it clean. I'm emotional today. I apologize. Tomorrow I will not cuss. I will make sure. Uh, Thanks for coming though, guys, and please share. Like I said, we got to grow this page. We're starting over from scratch. So please share and get this out as far as you can. And if you did that, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Real quick, let's get into some comments from yesterday's Daily Bern. All right, so Alyssa was here, and we were talking about in the news yesterday. I covered Bernie's addition to the Medicare for All plan, where he would require companies to pass on their savings, because companies won't have to supply healthcare to their employees anymore. They're going to save tons of money. He's going to require them to pass those savings on to their employees in the form of wages and benefits. So that is a really cool addition to that plan. And Alyssa said that Bernie is a master at spin on the fly. Great addition, sticking it in that companies must pass on their savings to employees. Bravo. And then Matt was here, and Matt said that we need to fight not just for the working class, but also the working poor and disabled and the elderly. It's our job to protect the weak. You know, healthcare is a human right. It just is. That's a fact. And we need to take care of our people. We just do. It's morally right. And, you know, the Koch brothers were nice enough to do that study. It's cheaper. Over 10 years, it saves trillions of dollars. So it's just a better way to go, morally and financially. But let's see. Clinton was here, and I want to get to this comment. I got to scroll down. We had a lot of interaction yesterday. That's really exciting. That helps the show a lot when you guys comment. But here we go. Clinton was here, and Clinton is not a Bernie supporter. Clinton is actually a Trump supporter. But he said, just curious, do you think that Bernie won't receive the same obstruction we see with Trump when he goes against the establishment agenda? And I wanted to address this comment. Yes, I do. I do believe that Bernie will receive uh, not just the same obstruction, but more so. He's going to run into tons of problems. They're going to fight and kick and scream every moment of this fight. They're never going to give us any of this. We have to take it. And again, this is not Bernie's job. It's our job. Like when in the debates, whenever he's pressed on how do you accomplish this? What is outside of his realm that can't be accomplished through executive order requires millions of people standing united. This fight doesn't end when Bernie gets elected. You keep participating in it. This fight goes on. We have to do this. Bernie doesn't do this. Just like, I don't buy in to Trump being any kind of a hero, but let's for a second say that maybe the Q thing is on the up and up and Trump is taking on the deep state and the establishment. He can't do it by himself. They'll put a new hole in his head. Kennedy tried to take on the Federal Reserve and the CIA. They opened up his head for him. It ain't the first time, it ain't the last time. And if they were afraid that Bernie could do any of this by himself, they'd probably kill him too. But at this point, they would create a martyr. It'd be more dangerous to kill Bernie than it would to let him try to fight, and then to fight him as they go. Because what he's counting on, what we're counting on, is that enough of us understand that we have to do this, that this is our fight. If we don't do that, none of this happens. Even if we elect Bernie Sanders. If we elect Bernie Sanders and go back to sleep, nothing happens. Nothing happens except we get to have a cool president for 4 years. That's it. That's all that would accomplish. So, yes, I do believe he would get the same obstruction, but things have to change. We have to look at this fight in a different way. It's our fight. But that was it from the comments from yesterday that I wanted to go through. Thanks again, guys, for participating. The comment section was awesome yesterday. We had close to 90 comments. It was great. I really enjoy that. I want this to be an ongoing discussion. But real quick, let's head over to the newsroom. I picked out a couple news stories to go through with you guys today, so let's go see those. So for the news today, I wanted to start with this quick clip I found of an interview Bernie did on Chris Hayes on MSNBC about his Green New Deal, his climate plan. So let me play that for you real quick. We'll watch that together.
Today, Senator Bernie Sanders unveiled a plan of his own, a Green New Deal, a $16 trillion plan on how to fight climate change. Joining me now, Democratic presidential candidate Senator Bernie Sanders, independent from Vermont. Senator, it's a long plan. It's like, it's pages and pages, and I read it today. And the biggest thing I was taken by is the sheer ambition. It is enormous in scope for what it imagines.
Well, Chris, this is the way I look at it. You can climate change the way Donald Trump does, call it a hoax, deny the reality. And that is obviously an incredible danger for the planet. Or you could say, well, climate change is real, but we can't do all that much. We can't really disrupt the economy. We can't do that. We can't do that. We got to look at it from a political point of view. Or the third approach, which I have tried to take here, is to say, look, the scientific community tells us we have a handful of years in which we must act boldly and transformatively to move away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy. Or else the planet we will be leaving for our children and future generations will be a planet that is increasingly unhealthy and uninhabitable. Man, I just came from Paradise, California, and you remember the tragedy there. Unbelievable, unbelievable. Looked like a bomb was dropped in that community. So if we believe, Chris, that climate change is real, if we believe what the scientists are telling us, we have got to be bold, we have got to be comprehensive, we have got to be aggressive. That is what that plan is about.
I want to talk about one part of the plan that I find fascinating, which is about how power is generated and distributed. You talk about there's some federal public administration of power in this country based on the Tennessee Valley Authority and others. Basically you propose essentially a federal takeover of the whole thing, that essentially a Tennessee Valley Authority extension for the whole country, right? Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, you're in the ballpark. That's right. Look, the TVA has done a lot of good work. It produces electricity from hydropower and other sources. What we need to do is have an aggressive federal government saying that we are going to produce a massive amount of electricity from solar and from wind and from other sustainable energies, and we will sell it out. And by the way, we're going to make money doing that. But you can't nibble around the edges. We need to transform our energy system. That means a massive increase in sustainable energy.
So I think people that watch the program know that I'm not
All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop the interview. As you can see, my computer can barely play a video, and I'm not going to make you suffer through any more of that. I will try to fix it as much as I can in editing. But I wanted to show you that clip. In this, they get into this more later in the interview, but let me switch over and I'm going to cover this story real quick too. So in the plan, Bernie has an idea to replace all diesel-powered school buses with electric school buses. And let me read you a little information here. So school and transit buses, it would provide $407 billion in grants for states to help school districts and transit agencies replace all school and transit buses with electric buses. Now, the EPA classifies diesel exhaust as a possible human carcinogen, and this exhaust contains over 40 different chemicals and air pollutants that are classified as hazardous air pollutants under the Clean Air Act. And children on school buses are exposed to concentrations of these substances that can be 5 to 15 times higher than background levels, negatively impacting their health and performance. So that's going to be a huge impact. Things like replacing the school buses. That's how you do this. But that's going to do a lot towards reducing emissions. Replacing all school buses with electrical school buses? I mean, come on. And also, this plan is expensive. But they got into it more later in the interview. I wish that the computer would have been able to play that for you. I'm sorry about that. But this creates a lot of jobs. These are big projects. There's and these projects make money. Look into it. You know, it makes a lot of sense. It's the right thing to do, and it's a well thought out, well written out plan, and with very good ideas in it. You know, so look into that. The next thing that we're going to get into is Bernie events. If you want to stay in touch with what's going on in the Bernie campaign and our revolution, text Bernie to 67760, and that will enroll you in the texting program, and you'll get text alerts for events in your area and things relevant news to the revolution. Or get the Bern app. You can get that anywhere you get a phone app from, Google Play Store, iTunes Store, wherever. And that gives you the ability to do a lot of cool things. One of them is record a My Bernie story. That's where you record a short video that you can share out to social media on why you support Bernie Sanders. But as far as what's going on with the campaign, they just wrapped up in Northern California where they had a really big rally and a couple town halls. They haven't announced where they're heading yet. What the major focus of the campaign right now is opening campaign offices all across the country. That's what they're really stressing on, is getting ahead of the support, which has been a lot more massive than they even anticipated, which is great. So they're focusing on doing that. The campaign's doing a great job. They're doing all that they can. They're running a fantastic campaign and giving us the ability to win this, all right? Putting us in a position to win. All we have to do is all that we can. So just do all that you can. Every day, just little things. Doing all that you can doesn't mean waking up every day and, fighting the political revolution 24 hours a day. It's just making the changes you want to see starting now. Moving forward, changing the world now, your own world. And little things, inspiring people. I think that's how we're going to wake people up. I think that's how we're going to get people excited and involved in the movement, through inspiration, not confrontation. Arguing with people on Facebook's probably not going to accomplish much. I haven't changed very many minds arguing on Facebook, and I've done a lot of arguing on Facebook. So I think we need to be more surgical with our approach and a little smarter about it. We're the smart ones, so let's use that. Let's use our intelligence. Let's use our strengths and figure this out. We can win this. We really can. We just have to do all that we can. You can't leave any cards on the table. And at the end of this fight, you just have to know that you did all you could. And then whether you win or you lose, you're going to have a clear conscience. And that's what's important. I can't guarantee that we'll win. I believe we will. And I'm not an optimistic person. I'm a realist. I just know that this is how change takes place. It's how it's always taken place. And we're doing the right thing. We're on the right path. And we can win. But if we lose, and we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm not going to think like a loser. But if we lose, we'll need a new plan. But right now, I don't have a plan B. Plan B gets in the way of plan A. Okay, here, we'll do this for plan B. We'll vote for Bender, and we'll kill all humans. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have to take to the streets. Plan B is revolution. This either happens peacefully or it happens violently. But this change needs to happen. And we're going to do it. So thank you to all of you that are out there doing all you can every day, and fighting in this political revolution. You're warriors. And I appreciate everything that you're doing. I know that you're not doing it to be thanked, but I want you to know that I see you out there, and I appreciate it. And I'll be fighting right alongside of you, and we're going to win. So thank you guys so much for watching today's Daily Bern, and remember to join the page. We're coming from a new home now, so join our Revolution page so that you can follow the show. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on Monday for a brand new episode of the Daily Bern. See you later.